Happy Wednesday, everybody. Coming to you from Sydney Airport. I have tried to find the quietest little spot I can, and I think I'm only annoying one person. I asked him for permission before I did my video. But as you know, it's Wednesday, so I'm a little bit early because my flight, I'll be mid-air at 8 o'clock, so I had to jump on first and shoot this live for you. And tonight's topic, it's not reinventing the wheel. It's something you've all heard about before, but it was really reinforced to me today when I was talking to some people at the conference in Sydney. And it's a simple thing that for some reason people just aren't getting. If you want to form connections, if you want to be able to sell, you've got to sell to serve, not to survive. And I want to talk to you about what that really means. And I had amazing examples of it today. So I'm in Sydney today. I went to a property law conference, which was good. It was my turn to be a student today, and I love to geek out. Instead of always being the presenter and doing the research and doing my learning by teaching, it's really good for me to sometimes just be a little bit more anonymous, geek out, immerse myself in the learning, and that's what I was doing today. So I also got the experience of where I'm sitting on a table with other practitioners, and you know, we chat and we talk, and it was the age-old kind of big noting themselves when you have a chat to someone. So I turned to this one lady during the break, and we were just having a chat, and the conversation basically turned to her rattling off her CV to me, announcing how big she is, how amazing she is, what she does, and all of these things. And my reaction was like most people, you just completely shut down. Nobody wants to be sold to. Nobody wants to have that kind of preach to. We just automatically shut down. We get that kind of rolling in the back of our eyes, waiting for the conversation to finish, looking around, looking at the time. And you don't want to work with people like that. She could have been the best barrister in the world for what I needed, but you just shut down because it's so self-serving. You know, you just feel that kind of arrogance in there, even though she probably is amazing what she does. As opposed to the gentleman that was sitting on the other side, when we started chatting, I just enjoyed getting to learn about him. He was a sole practitioner. He has been operating for 30 years. We were speaking about how he struggles to take his wife out for dinner in his local area because everybody knows who he is and they get distracted and she never sees him. And it was this amazing conversation. And it just came from a place of him wanting to serve the community, and the conversation that we have was not a sales conversation. It was really about service. And it was so interesting that I just wanted to share with you that you've heard the words before. If you want to sell, it's got to come from a place of service and not survival. If you're one of those people out there that's trying to sell houses, sell your career, even just a charity, trying to make an impact, if you're doing that from a place of survival where I have to sell, I have to do this, I have to get this many followers, I have to be able to do this impact, I need to make this many dollars, I need to be able to get this many sales, people can feel that, they can see that, and you're coming with all the wrong motivations. But if you say deep down and you mean it to yourself that you want to be one of these people that serves people, that you want to be able to help people, to be able to make a difference, to be able to help them achieve their dreams, whatever that may be, that kind of motivation, people will buy from you. That's the kind of sales area. And it's so satisfying for you as well because you are invested in the journey with someone. You're not just about getting those numbers, getting those KPIs. You're about making real impact and being on the journey. And it was really rammed home. I mean, I know this, but it was really rammed home to me today. Just sitting on a table with colleagues from all different areas of Australia and having this one lady just talk to me about how amazing she is, and she had no idea who I was. She had no idea, you know, vice versa. But I most certainly was not going to rattle off to her my CV and awards that I've won, but that was how she opened her conversation. And immediately I just want to shut down. I don't want to be sold to. The gentleman on the left side of me was this beautiful, lovely man who we were just talking about his community that he works in. We never once spoke about the quality of his work, what awards that he's won. But the values that I got from that conversation with him is the type of person that I want to work with. He's worked in the same office for 20, 30 years, and we were talking about how his wife rings him when he's about to leave work and says, can you get some milk on the way home? And how he kind of rolls his eyes because he's always late when he does that, because everybody in that area knows him and it takes him so long to get home. Now, the kind of values that I can pull from that conversation, that he is so community-based, that he's so well known in his area, even though he works in law, that he's a real people person, they're the kind of people I want to work with. And not once was he preaching to me his CV and how amazing he is, just the values that I could get from him talking about his everyday life and his service. They're the type of people you want to work with. So I think sometimes people forget also that we are all in sales. No matter what you do, what your career is, we're all in sales. And so you need to really think about your why. Why do you want to sell you? Do you want to sell your value? And it could be anything. This can be if you're a stay-at-home mum. You still have something that you are selling. It may be that you are selling purpose to your kids and why they should be doing things a certain way. You still have a purpose that you want to sell for. So make sure that you know your why so that you do that selling from a way of serving people, not from a way of surviving. And that's where you're going to get it. So realizing that every single one of us is a salesperson, every single one of us. And it's not a bad thing. We're not used car salesmen and have those old-fashioned mentalities. We're all salespeople. Find out what really makes you tick and use that as your expression to sell. For me, it is, I love to serve people. This gentleman, he was talking about community. So don't go out with the hard sale because you think that is your number one. Don't think of your number one is, I need to make this many sales. Turn it into, I need to serve people. I need to be able to help people. I need to be able to help people understand. I'm getting some funny looks now. I need to be able to help people, in their journey. What can you do to make that service better to eventually, sorry, as you can tell, I'm just sitting on the floor randomly at the Sydney airport. But that's really my message. I know it. I didn't invent this message, by all means. I'm not claiming I have, but sometimes people don't see what it really means. And today was a classic example, and that's what I wanted to share with you. So just a real quick trip to Sydney for me tonight. I flew up this morning and then fly back tonight, back in the office tomorrow. Completely a learning trip to do with some changes in property law, and it was good. I love to geek out, and I don't get many opportunities, to be completely honest. I don't get many opportunities. I do learning every single day. Those of you know me, it's part of my process, but I don't get to allow myself to go away and just be all in sometimes with just learning. And what was different about this learning is I've got a couple of big clients that this legislation really relates to. So it was really good to be able to put that in practice. And I'm such a geek. I got so excited halfway through some of the things today that I actually started texting a client. I was like, this is coming in, and this new legislation, we've been speaking about this, but I'm actually excited for this part of it and this part of it. And I got to hit up a couple of barristers asking for their opinions on some drafting issues that I was working on. So I was just a complete geek in my whole element. So that's me. That's Wednesday night. It's a little bit early, but I need to catch my flight out of here and get my butt off the dirty floor at the Sydney airport. But I was destined. I just had to find a really quiet place to be able to share that with you. That's my message for tonight. And it's not my message. It's a message that is just out there, but I really wanted to explain it. Sell. We are all salespeople. We all have something to sell. Your career, your business, your sporting team, stay-at-home mums, we all have something that we are trying to sell and that we are trying to help influence someone to do something that's for the greater good. From selling houses to raising your children to selling computers, anything, we're all salespeople. So do it from a place of here. Okay, make it a reason that you're selling to be your reason why. Do it from a place of that you want to serve people, not survival, and you will be so much more successful. And you know what? You're going to be so much more rewarded and feel fulfilled as well. Okay, see you Wednesday. I'll see you next week from Albury.